Over the years, I've talked to a lot of small business owners that are trying to figure out where their leads may be going. They've got a website that should be generating leads. They're paying for Google ads, Facebook ads. All of these things should be generating leads, but they're not getting as many leads as they think they should be getting. I'm Peter Wilson, the president of BizMarketing. We are a marketing agency that helps small businesses, and we have developed a kind of a checklist based on these conversations and based on the things we've found that could be causing leaks in the leads that they're getting. So we call this the lead leak detector checklist for small businesses. And the first thing that we've seen that is not necessarily causing leaks, but it is causing confusion and lack of information is that businesses don't have any lead tracking. So if you are spending money to generate leads, especially from Google ads or Facebook ads, you need to make sure that your website has lead tracking built into it. And what I mean by that is if somebody comes to your site and sees a phone number, we need to make sure that that number is associated with the ads that you're running, the ad campaign, the money that you're spending. And we use a technology called dynamic number insertion that automatically changes that phone number when somebody comes to your website. So then when they see the number and they call, that phone call will get attributed to that lead campaign. So if you're not doing that, all of the phone calls come into your business and you have no idea of knowing which calls were generated by which campaign. So you might be running a Facebook campaign and a Google ad campaign and some other campaign, Yelp campaign, and be getting phone calls and not have any idea which of those campaigns is actually working. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your tracking set up for your campaigns and have it set up correctly. The next thing that we've seen businesses do is not set up their Google business profile correctly. And the reason that is important is if you're a local business, you're looking for local customers, your Google business profile is the most important thing for showing up in the map listings and searches that people are doing near me or the name of your service. So if they're looking for roofer near Edmonds or roofer near me or dentist near me or dentist in Everett, those types of localized searches in the search results on Google, the map listings show up. And that is all driven by the Google business profile. So you have to have a Google business profile set up. Then you have to claim it, verify it, optimize it. And one of the most important things you can do to optimize your Google business profile is to be getting Google reviews. So reviews is what Google is using to figure out which businesses it's going to show first on the list or last on the list. So usually you probably notice this, Google will show 3 businesses and then there's a little button that says see more down below. Now, what's the chance of somebody clicking on see more? Like if they see 3 reputable businesses, they're probably going to call 1 or 2 of them right away, not necessarily even click on the see more. So you want to make sure you show up in the upper part of those search results. And that all comes down to your Google business profile. The other thing that we see with businesses is just simply a leaky website. And what do I mean by that? Well, if somebody comes to your website, they need to be able to see a couple things right away. They need to see what you do, who you help, and where you're located. If you're a localized business, not a national business. And most people we work with are localized businesses. And they need to be able to know how to get a hold of you. So most people are going to be searching from their phone, and they're going to want to see a phone number so they can click on the phone number or click on a contact box that pops up a form that they can easily fill out and get in contact with you, or they want to book an appointment with you. Of course, this depends on the type of business that you have. But all the businesses that we work with take phone calls from potential customers, and 100% of them need to have a phone number that's easy to get to. Especially if you're on a phone, people just want to click and have that number dial. So if your website isn't showing your phone number, then you are really missing the boat. And a couple tricks that we have is we have a way of actually putting your phone number on the footer of your website on the mobile screen, so it always shows, regardless of what page somebody's on your website, and regardless of where they are on the page, they're always going to see the phone number, and depending on the business, contact form as well. So you want to make sure that you've got it easy for customers to contact you. You're driving all this traffic to your website, then they can't get a hold of you. You're wasting money right there. The next thing that we see a lot of businesses missing out on is what we call speed to lead. And that is, number one, are you answering the phone? So when somebody calls, you need to answer the phone. I've worked with a lot of businesses that just they weren't set up to answer the phone quickly. And when somebody calls, when somebody takes the time and goes to the effort of calling you, they want to talk to somebody right away. So, you can have an answering service answer, you can have receptionist answer, virtual receptionist, but people want to talk to somebody. If they go to the trouble to call, they want to talk to somebody. So make sure that you have a way to get calls answered from prospective customers. And also, if your website has a form that people can fill out to ask for information or book an appointment, make sure that your staff is answering those immediately, because there is a direct correlation between how quickly you get back to a potential customer and the likelihood that they're going to use you as a business. So make sure you are answering every single lead that you get as quickly as possible. The next thing we see is something we call lead nurture. And a lot of businesses will get a lead in, and for whatever reason, that person doesn't decide to buy that day. Well, if you've captured their information, you've captured their email address or their phone number, then you have an opportunity to nurture that lead, whether it's calling them back and seeing if they want to book an appointment, or if it's sending them out a series of emails that talk about the value of your services and how you can help them over time. We call that lead nurturing. And if you're not doing anything to nurture the leads, you've potentially lost out on the value of those prospects. And another thing that we recommend highly is a remarketing campaign. So what that is if somebody comes to your website, they may have clicked on an ad, and then they maybe come to your website and they look at it. Honestly, the highest percent of people that will actually do anything when they come to your website, like raising their hand, say, I'm interested, by calling you or filling out a form, is maybe 30%. So 70% of the people don't raise their hand the first time they come to your website. They don't fill out a lead form. They don't call you. They don't do anything. So you need to make sure that you are staying in front of those people afterwards. And that's where a remarketing campaign comes in, where you set it up to use a pixel to show ads to people that have been on your website, either on the web, or you can do it on the social platforms as well. The next thing that we see is wasted ad spend. And that comes in the form of having an ad campaign set up. The most common one that I see is where they're targeting an area that's way too broad. So they may be targeting the whole state of Washington with their ad campaign. And the reality is maybe only people in their county are going to come to their business or use their service. So they should cut down the geography that they're showing their ads in order to really concentrate their efforts for the campaign. The other thing we see is keywords in certain campaigns that are like names of competitors. So what happens is somebody is searching for the name of a competitor, and then an ad pops up for your business, for example. Now, that might be a good thing if you have an opportunity to talk those people into perhaps visiting your service. But if it's a very popular brand and people are really just looking to get a hold of that brand and they don't necessarily want to consider other businesses, then my recommendation would be to put your competitor's name as a negative keyword in your ad campaigns. So there are a couple other things like that that can really make a huge difference with respect to ad campaigns. And one last one I'll mention is just negative keywords in general. If people are searching for, a simple example would be lawsuit. They might be looking for something to do with a name of a brand, lawsuit. Well, you don't want to have people clicking on your ad if they were searching for the name of a brand plus the word lawsuit, for example. So you put the word lawsuit in as a negative keyword. So these are some of the things that we have identified as being lead leaks for businesses that are spending money on ads. And we have it as a checklist. It's a 7-point checklist. If you'd like to get a copy of it, look at the notes, and you can see there's a link there in the notes for the lead leak detector. If you just click on that, that'll take you to a page where you can get your own copy of our lead leak detector. And if you'd like any help with any of these things that we talk about in here, our contact information is on the lead leak detector, or you can just go to our website, bizmarketing.com. That's BIZ marketing.com. Thanks. I'm Peter Wilson, and appreciate you joining me today.